All right, let's talk everyday carry stuff. New year, new carries. I got a whole bunch of things upgraded over the holidays, and over the last year, I've really tried to like curate and get things in my bags that I actually use on a day-to-day, rather than things that are more of like pocket jewelry or just like cool to carry around. I wanted to have a little bit more of a practical thing that I carry with me, and obviously not everything I'm going to go over is stuff that no matter what I don't leave the house without, but for the most part this is what I found comes with me if I'm going somewhere or going like to stay somewhere else or holidays, whatever. Let's get into it, starting off with what is in my pockets. So the only thing that I've been carrying in my pocket has been a knife. This is a Civivi knife of some sort, but this is the only thing that I've been carrying in my pockets. Obviously, cell phones, that's going to be a big thing that I would normally be carrying in my pocket, but my girlfriend and I have actually been going to see a homeopath, and she recommended not carrying a phone in the pocket as much as possible. But obviously if I'm walking around the house or just like going to a shop or something, then I will put my phone in my pocket. But for the most part, I try and put it in my sling, which I'll go over in a little bit. But that is the only thing that I carry around, is a pocket knife. This is what I usually take with me day to day, going places, whatever. Obviously when I wear real pants like jeans or cargo pants, this is what I'll bring. If I'm not wearing those, if I'm just wearing joggers, then I won't be bringing this, obviously. Now the other knife that I have is this guy. It's a fixed blade. Oops, switch that out. Is this fixed blade from Pete's Pirate Co. And this is the other thing that I will attach onto me. This is mainly like a work type one. As a photographer, videographer, you know what? You need a knife more often than you think, which is weird to say, but even if it's like at a wedding, to just like take off string or whatever from a bride's dress, they get really nervous if you do it. But it's helpful to have, and this is usually what I'll bring with me when I'm doing work stuff. This obviously, if I'm just like going to the supermarket or something, I won't bring this one. But that's all that I really have in my pockets. The other things, obviously just on my person that I will carry, is a watch. So currently I've been rocking the Apple Watch Ultra, the first generation one. I switch out my watches all the time. Right now, it's the Apple Watch Ultra, but over the last year, I have really tried to wear only a couple of watches. It doesn't work at all, but depending on the occasion I'll switch out my watch. Now, these two are ones that I wear most often when I'm not wearing the Apple Watch. That's a Seiko 5 diver watch. There, took this one on holidays, and this was a great little travel watch, very durable, waterproof, blah, blah, blah. Awesome. Then the other one, which is very great just daily, is this Tissot PRX. This can be a fancy watch, this can be just a normal day-to-day watch, this can be your everything watch. Love this. Love both of these watches. Again, I have a bunch of watches, so I kind of switch it out depending on the occasion, but for the most part, it's one of these three that I'll kind of carry around with me. All right, moving into the bag. So this is my backpack. This is actually new. I just got this, and my other backpacks have kind of been allocated to other things, obviously. Most of the time, it's going to be a camera bag that I'll be bringing around with me, being a videographer. But on those odd occasions when I just want to go to a cafe and work, or I'm just going over like to my girlfriend's parents' place and I just need to bring my computer with me, I wanted a bag that's just an easy daily, something that I could just carry around with me. And so I asked for this for Christmas. It's a Herschel, not too sure exactly what it is, but Herschel bag. And this doesn't have a lot of stuff in it, because obviously I haven't really had a lot of opportunity to figure out what I need to be carrying around. But I have a few just essential things. One of them being a hard drive, which I do a lot of my editing off of on video. And then computer cable outfitted with the with a nice little cute cat sticker with a GPU on it. And then I got a pen, just a normal Peter McKinnon Pete's Pirate Life pen. If you can't tell a theme, got a lot of Peter McKinnon stuff. And then an Apple pen. And that's pretty much it. I also have cables, cords, USB-C. Luckily now, because I have the iPhone 15, all of my devices are USB-C, which has been great. It's been awesome to have like everything being USB-C. So I can only basically have to carry around one cable with me to charge everything. That's been great. But the only thing is that my girlfriend still has Lightning on her phone. So it's great for me, but horrible for her, which is too bad. Also, we'll throw the iPad in here sometimes, but that's it for that pocket. Main pocket doesn't have a lot in it. Again, it has computer for working. Still on the M1 Pro, I think this one is, or whatever it was, M1 Max. Yeah, the Max, not the Ultra, whatever. Still have that, still rocking the M1. Sony headphones, just got these not too long ago. Switched them out for my Apple headphones. I just found my Apple headphones were just too heavy, but now I got the Sony WX-M1005s, I think, is what this model is. But yeah, I've been really liking those. I just got Wicked cushion things on them, so it's just these covers that you can put over top your headphones. This is just like a silicone cover. Basically, it's just so that you can sweat in these headphones. On the box, the Sony headphones say don't get any sweat on them. And I'm assuming just because like the leather, whatever material that they use for the ear cups will degrade faster if you get them wet. So getting these just allows you to actually be able to sweat in them. And yeah, not saying that I wear these headphones when I work out or anything, but if I'm sitting there and I'm video editing for hours and hours and hours, I find that having these silicone covers actually keeps it like a little bit cooler. And if I do sweat, which does happen when I'm stuck wearing headphones for like 6 hours in a day, it tends to just help, wick away some of that sweat. Good times. Now, the last thing that's in here, which is super extra, is my battery bank. This is a small rig V-mount battery. This is actually a videography battery, so I use it for videography all the time, for lighting, camera, that kind of stuff. But it does have a couple USB ports at the top, and it lasts forever. I can charge my laptop off this, I can charge my phone, I can charge everybody's phone like off this thing. It's huge, it's incredibly chunky, which is why it's in my backpack and not my sling. But my girlfriend has stolen my other battery bank, and she takes that with her everywhere. So when I need a battery bank, this is kind of my default now. It's really extra, but like, I don't know, works really well. Okay, moving on to the fun part, and that is the Sling. So this does come with me pretty much everywhere. I don't leave our apartment without this. So everything that's in here is pretty essential. Now, over the last year, I have decided that I needed a bigger sling. I used to just have the Lululemon sling size, whichever size that was, which is like 1 liter or 1.5 liter or something like that, where this is the Rework Toshi 5 liter sling. So I really upgraded my sling a little bit to the extreme, but I carry a lot of stuff. And I had someone make a comment where it's like, why don't you just carry a purse? And I'm like, this is basically just a purse. Why are you judging? I got a lot of stuff I got to carry. And you know what? A lot of the things that are in here are actually for other people, which is, I think, what a lot of people's everyday carry stuff is. But let me go over it. I've also tried to make this more modular, which is part of the reason why I wanted a bigger one, is so that I can, those things that I don't need every single day, like no matter what when I leave the apartment, I can just kind of take out and put in really easily without having to move stuff around and make space for it. But starting off with just the outside, I have this cute little mocha keychain, which is actually the sweaters that I'm wearing. It's milk and mocha. Me and my girlfriend really like these. They're very cute. We have matching stuff with them. And then I also have these straps on the bottom out currently. So this is for strapping on like an umbrella or whatever you want. I have these so that I can strap like my jacket or a coat or a sweater to the bottom if I needed to, or a water bottle, which I'll get into in a minute, but I have these on the outside. They actually have like this little magnetic opening on the bottom of this bag that you can hide these, but I just decided to keep them out because I'm lazy that way. Okay, starting with the front pocket, just underneath this little flap, I have USB-C cable. I have a little digicam. This has been like my friends and I's little favorite cameras, my girlfriend's old digicam from when she was in high school. And we've just been having so much fun with this little thing. I don't know why, but like we have more fun taking pictures with this than we do with my like huge crazy camera setup. It's just been a lot of fun. And the other thing is a MagSafe little battery bank for my phone from Anchor. Also USB-C. Shout out USB-C. Endlessly USB-C stuff. But anyways, that's the front pocket. I'm not going to put everything back as I open things because that'll take forever. Moving on to the top. Now this is the like quickest access little pocket here for when you're carrying this sling. And this is actually where I've been keeping my cell phone. So iPhone 15 Pro, just throw it in there, works really well. Now the downside of this, and they talk about this in Rework's video of the Toshi Sling, but it is not a secured pocket. If you can see, there's only one little zipper here, and there's no way to really secure it. You could probably maneuver it in such a way that you could put a lock or like a carabiner through it with the other zippers. But we don't live in like a high pickpocket area. And if we do travel or something like that, I just won't keep my phone in this pocket in particular. So anyways, that's where I keep my phone. And also a cleaning cloth for my glasses mainly. Always got to have that. Then finally, the other thing in here is lip chap. Always got to carry lip chap with you everywhere. We live in Canada, in Alberta, so it's horribly dry here all the time. But yeah, that is those two pockets. Now going through the back. So this would be the only secure pocket technically on the Toshi Sling because it's just right up against your body. But in this one, I carry around my passport. And then I also have $5. Now, I am not a big cash carrying person. I carry cards with me. I carry my phone for Apple Pay and stuff, and that's how I do all my transactions. Cash is just not something that I carry around. And I keep seeing people, or I used to always see people, be like, always carry $100 cash on you because $100 cash can get you basically whatever you might need if you end up getting stuck or trapped somewhere. You can get a cab ride out, you could get blah, blah, blah. And so obviously $5, that's not a lot. That can't get you a lot of things. It can buy me a coffee, which is awesome. So if I'm ever like strapped for cash or something, or I'm just like, man, I don't want to like spend any money on coffee right now, I have $5 of emergency coffee money. But mainly the reason that I carry this $5 around now is A, it wouldn't feed into the bank machine because it was folded funny. So can't deposit it in the bank. But B, that most other people, like friends, whatever, sometimes they'll need a little bit of cash. Have you ever been in that situation where your friend is paying for something and they're using cash and they're like, oh, I'm like a couple dollars short, I'm a little bit short, do you have any change on you? Do you have any cash on you? Now I can say yes, I can give them this $5 and they can pay me back. And the only other thing is I carry this little heart that my girlfriend got me. So I just carry that around with me as well. But anyways, that is all the exterior pockets of the Toshi Sling. Now going for the main pocket, main event, it is full of a lot of stuff. Now, most of this stuff lives in here. Some of it changes out. Like I said, I wanted to have more of like a modular type system for my day-to-day needs because they always are changing. So, going through what I got in here. First off, in the bottom, down past everything, which is actually their water bottle carrying space, I carry my keys. Now, I have finally reduced my key size to just being these two and a little bit of jewelry things on there. Obviously, fob to car, fob to apartment, and those are the two things that I actually need to carry. I used to have like keys to my mom's place, keys to my girlfriend's parents' place, keys to our studio, keys to mailboxes. Had a ton of things on the keys. Don't need to carry that stuff anymore, so it's reduced just to this, and I get to throw it in the bottom of this bag, and it basically just lives there forever. Now, the other nice thing about this bag and the fact that it is so big is that I can put my keys at the bottom and they don't hit or bang against anything that I don't want to get scraped up or scratched. That was a big issue in the Lululemon bag, is that every time that I would put my keys in there, they would take up the entire pouch, and I couldn't like throw my phone in there or something that I didn't want to get scraped up. So having a big bag like this is really nice. Now, like I mentioned before about the water bottle, I am not a water bottle carrier in like any way, shape, or form. I need to get better at it. I want to get better at it. I want to buy like one of those memo water bottles so that they're flat and they can just fit into this bag really easily, and then I might just carry around that for when I go out somewhere. But since I've been really trying to curate this over the last year, what I found is that I don't actually use a water bottle when I bring it with me very often. If we go to the mall or something, and we're walking around the mall, I'm just carrying this water bottle, and now one of my hands is occupied, and it just has to be dedicated to carrying that water bottle. So if I then have shopping bags on the other side, now I have no hands to like look at a t-shirt or anything like that. I have to put something down, then you forget it. It's a whole situation. I don't like doing that. So I found that carrying a water bottle ended up just being more of a hassle, and anywhere that I go, I could get a drink. You know, if I'm going to a cafe or something, just ask them for a cup of water. Going to the mall, go up to one of the stores in the mall and just ask them, one of the restaurants in the mall, and just ask them for a glass of water when I'm getting like a little snack or something. There's ways that I can get water that doesn't mean that I need to carry it. One of the biggest ways is actually my girlfriend is a big water bottle carrier, so I just steal hers all the time. It works. That way I don't have to deal with it. But I do have a water bottle, the one that I take to Disneyland, and it would actually fit in the bottom of this. So if I was going to work or something and I was like, I know I'm going to just be sitting here for hours and hours and hours, and I'm not going to have much options to get water, I could just throw that in here and it would work. So I have that option. Anyways, moving up the line. So these pockets, I got a bunch of different little strappies here. This side of them is my like modular, kind of switches out, changes. I don't necessarily carry this all the time. Currently I have the Mio Mini Plus in there. Awesome little emulator, so I can play my Zelda or Secret of Mana on this, or Pokemon. Being the age that I am, having the little nostalgic kick that I get from this, I prefer almost over the doom scrolling that is TikTok or Instagram, so instead I'll just mind-numbingly play video games. It's great. But yeah, that just kind of fits in here. I don't necessarily carry this around with me all the time though, so this one kind of changes out, and that's all I have on this side. This side is stuff that I carry with me all the time. AirPods. I do all my calls, listening to music, working out stuff with AirPods in, and then I have this little pen assortment. I have 2 Copic markers, alcohol-based markers. That's not going to focus. Anyways, they're Copic alcohol-based markers. I have a Tide stick, which is less used by me and more used by my friends. I actually just on Saturday, this last weekend, had a friend spill something on his new pants that he's never worn, and he was really upset and he was really distracted by it while we were trying to play board games and stuff, and he was distracted by that all evening. And I was like, oh, do you want a Tide to Go pen? And he was like, oh, you have one of those? I'm like, of course I do. So carrying around the Tide to Go is a lifesaver, not necessarily for me, but for everybody else around me. It's just very helpful. I'm also quite precious with my clothing, so if I was to spill something, I want to be able to try and tackle it as fast as I can. And then I got a fine liner, also Copic fine liner. Is that going to focus there? There we go, a little bit. But yeah, it's a 0.7 fine liner. That's just the one that I like. And I also have a Sharpie. Now, the other thing that gets to live in this bag is this little knife, which is really nice because of how skinny it is. It just fits in there so nicely. But this is a C-cut knife. And I got this when we were traveling. Is that going to focus? Maybe not. I got this while we were traveling to Seattle. And I was standing in line for the Starbucks that's in the Fisherman's Wharf or whatever, the Pike place. And there was this little like cutlery store for kitchenware, knives, that kind of stuff, and I popped my head in while I was standing in line, and I saw that they had pocket knives, and so I jumped in there while we were waiting and saw this and was like, this is the perfect size to throw into a sling. And so now I always have a knife on me, and which is perfect for when I'm wearing shorts or I'm wearing, you know, whatever other pants that I can't necessarily clip a knife very easily into my pocket. All right, moving on to the main pouch, the main back pocket, big pocket. Instead of carrying like a large item, like a large notebook or like an iPad mini or something, I just got more stuff. I got this Field Notes notebook. I am not a big note taker, but I want to get more into it. I want to try and make it more of a thing. This one is like basically completely blank, so I want to try and do this more and write down ideas and stay away from writing it down on my phone notes, because I find that when I write it down in my phone notes, I end up getting distracted by everything else that's going on my phone. If I have notifications, if I get text messages, I'll respond to those things, and then sometimes I'll forget what I'm trying to write down or what I'm trying to do. We play like D&D and other like creative type things, or like we do fun little projects with my friends, and when I go to write something down, it's usually in relation to that stuff. It's like an idea of whatever I want to try and put them through, and so I try and write it down in here. I'm going to get better at this. That's my goal for this year, is to get better at writing notes down. I keep my wallet in here. I do not carry a wallet around in my pocket. Why? I couldn't tell you. I've had this one for now almost a year, just over a year, and you can see the patina that I got rolling on that. It is a Miscellaneous & Co. wallet. I really like this wallet, nice, slim. I love thin wallets like this. And what else do I got in here? This is another one that's for other people, not for me, and that's Lactaid. I don't even think my girlfriend knows that I've started to carry around Lactaid in my bag for her. Yeah, I do. I carry around Lactaid now. She didn't even know that. So I don't need Lactaid. I don't have Lactaid. I don't have any lactose issues. But my girlfriend does. Now, it's not for everything. She can have most dairy products and not really have that much of an issue. But on those odd occasions when we go to a restaurant or something and she wants to order a specific item that has like a really heavy dairy type sauce on it, she's always like, oh no, I need a Lactaid. And sometimes she has them, sometimes she doesn't. So this way, I carry around Lactaid now just in case she ever needs it. It's a really easy thing just to throw in my bag and leave it and forget it. And then lastly, the last thing that is in my bag is a set of playing cards. I am a big playing card collector. That is one of the things that I allow myself to collect, along with 10,000 other things. But I have this fun little case that I got at an event. And yeah, I have a deck of playing cards. These are Monarchs These were a summer edition of the Monarchs, limited edition. So naturally I had to get those. But I got stabbed in the hand like 17 years ago when I was 15 years old. And my dexterity in my thumb is quite sketchy, to say the least. And so actually doing like cardistry or magic helps with keeping the mobility and the dexterity of my hands a little bit higher. And it's just fun. I just enjoy doing it. Nice little hobby. And again, it's better than just doom scrolling continuously on Instagram or something. Instead, I'll learn how to do a trick. So that's kind of a fun little extra thing that I carry around in my bag. The set of playing cards changes out all the time depending on how I'm feeling on that certain day. Now, some of the last little things that I carry with me when I like go to someone else's house and I'm like staying over the night or something, or we're going on holidays or something, or like a little road trip to Banff or Jasper, I will bring these things with me, which is another reason why I wanted to get the bigger sling. First of all, that would be handheld games. Obviously I have the Mio Mini Plus, but if I'm feeling a more newer age type game, then I'll bring either this, the ROG Ally, or the Nintendo Switch. And I'll bring either of these, and both of them actually fit really easily just into my sling. Like that, don't have to even think about it. And that was one of the biggest issues that I had, mainly with the ROG Ally, because that thing is huge and chunky. Like putting it in a pocket or something just was not an option. So carrying it around in the sling made life just a lot easier, and so that's part of the reason why I wanted to get a bigger sling. Now on these, you might have seen that I actually have these little joystick covers so that I can save my joysticks. And these are from lttstore.com, and they're just these little rubberized things that you flip inside out and then put over top of the joystick and keeps it protected. So that way when I'm carrying it around, we're all safe and we're all good. But yeah, there's those. So I'll bring these with me if we're going to like stay at my girlfriend's in-law, or at the in-law place kind of thing. And then last two things. So in my backpack, I'll bring a set of rolling balls, whatever you want to call them. These are from Lululemon, but obviously it can just be a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball, doesn't really matter. But yeah, because of all my exploits in my 20s, I get sore and, you know, want to keep the body young and healthy and have some longevity to my body. So rolling out some of the pressure points in my legs primarily, or my feet, are vital. Good times, getting older, so much fun. Lastly is this little whatever toothbrush bag. Toiletries, that's the word. Little toiletry bag, which I've actually converted into my little medicine bag. So I just got a bunch of medication stuff in here now. Like I mentioned before, we've been going to see a homeopath, naturopath type person over the last year. And so she gives me a whole new set of pills to take every once in a while. So I throw those in here, and that comes with me if we're going to stay somewhere else or whatever. But that is my everyday stuff. Those are my everyday items. Obviously, some of the things are a little bit expanded. Like, don't bring all that stuff with me to go to the supermarket. Being a city dweller and being in an urban environment, I don't have to bring a lot of like stuff that I might need if I was out in the country, first aid kits, that kind of thing. So a lot of it is very modular. It changes, it switches, it becomes something different depending on where I'm going. But for the most part, all the items that I showed you, those things come with me for the most part to places, and I've said that too many times now. But anyways, yeah, if you have any suggestions of things that I could upgrade, leave a comment down below. I am looking at getting, like I mentioned, the Memo water bottle, so I can be carrying around some kind of water with me. and drinking more water. And the other thing that I've been thinking about doing or adding is a flashlight. Currently, I just use my Apple Watch. I have the action button set up to be the flashlight. So like I just click the action button and it turns my flashlight on. And that's been really helpful, but for some reason, now when I go to work, I'm trying to like do something in the dark whilst filming, and I'm like holding my wrist up like this, and there's people around me that if I turn my phone flashlight on, it would blind them. And so I might need to start carrying around a flashlight, and I'm very sad about that fact because I don't really want to. I don't really have, never really found a need to do that, but for work, might be something that I have to add. Other than that, for an urban type setting, what do you carry around? Leave a comment down below. Thank you, and good night.